Yeah, so I'll record it so we can put it on Google Classroom later. Okay, so this is doing unit conversions. And it is sometimes called dimensional analysis. That's something you might see it as. Or just unit conversions, which is what we will most likely be calling it, but I don't want you to get thrown off if you see the other word, okay? So when you're doing unit conversions, you need to know what units you're starting with. So what you're starting with, what you want to end up with, and you need to know the conversion factor. So the conversion factor is what's going to get you from here to here. Okay, so let's do an example. This is the same example that's on the video that I posted earlier, but I'm going to do this one here with you guys so I can walk you through step by step with it. So the video had starting with 495 pounds, and the question was, how many kilograms is this? So the question is, how many kilograms are in 495 pounds? So we're starting with 495 pounds. We're going to write that down first. We want to end up with kilograms. So whatever our conversion factor is, it needs to get us from pounds to kilograms. So we need to know how many pounds are in a kilogram. 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. So there's 1 kilogram for every 2.2 pounds. There's 1 kilogram in 2.2 pounds. You won't have to memorize these right now. Eventually you'll know most of them. You'll know a lot of these right here, a lot of these conversions. But on your tests and on your work that you're doing in class this year, it's going to give it to you. So there will be like a conversion table that you can click on it, and it will tell you how many kilograms and how many pounds, or how many feet are in a yard, or how many minutes are in an hour. Those are things that you should know already, but for the more complicated ones, there will be a table that will tell you. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to set up my conversion problem that's going to take me from pounds to kilograms. How I do this is I'm going to multiply this number right here, what I started with, times my conversion factor. Quick side note, it's really important for you to know when you're doing this that anything divided by itself is 1. So for example, side note, anything divided by itself is 1. So 5 divided by 5, that's 1. These cancel each other out, they make 1. If you have x divided by x, that's 1. Those cancel each other out and they equal 1. If you have x, y, z divided by z, the z's cancel each other out and you're left with just x, y. That's why I'm allowed to multiply this times a fraction with one of these on top and one of these on bottom, because that's the same thing as just multiplying this times 1. I'm not changing how much I have. I'm just writing it in a different way. I have to decide which one of these I'm going to put on the top and which one on the bottom of my fraction. Knowing that if one thing's on the top and one thing's on the bottom, those cancel out, and knowing that I want to get rid of the pounds. I don't want pounds anymore because I want kilograms. I'm going to put the number with the pounds on the bottom because I know that I can cancel out these pounds and I won't have them anymore, which means I need to put the 1 kilogram on the top. Once I do that, I can solve my problem. These pounds cancel out. I have 495 times 1 kilogram over 2.2. You can type in your calculator 495 times 1 over 2.2. That will give you the right answer. Or you can recognize that if this is on the top of the fraction and this is on the bottom of the fraction, it would be 495 divided by 2.2. So on your calculator, type in 495 divided by 4.2 because the 495 is on the top and the 2.2 is on the bottom. And you will get 295. All you're left with is kilograms because the pounds canceled out. So your answer is 295 kilograms. Then you check at the top. Did you end up with what you wanted to end up with? Yes, you did. So we're trying to find out how many kilograms there were. Okay, so I want to do one that's a two-step conversion problem. And this one I'm going to use feet and inches and yards. And I know that you can figure out how many inches are in a yard, but we're going to pretend like we don't really know that. We're going to say we started out with 648 inches. That's our start. And we want to end up with yards. So here's what we know. We know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. And we know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So we're going to do 2 conversions. First, we're going to go from inches to feet, and then we're going to go from feet to yards to figure out how many yards this number is. Okay, so we're starting with 648 inches. Make sure that you write down your units. Now I need to multiply it by a conversion fraction. I'm trying to go from inches to feet. Here's my inches, here's my feet. I need to put the 1 on the bottom to make this inches cancel out. So I'll put the 12 inches on the bottom and the 1 foot on the top. Okay, so I went from here to here. Now I need to go from there to here. If I want to end up with yards, that means I will want, so these inches have canceled out. I have feet left over. I want to cancel out the feet. So I'll put feet on the bottom and yards on the top. So now these feet will cancel out. So I'm going to go order of operations from left to right. 648, that's my starting number. I'm dividing by 12 because that's on the bottom. And then I'm dividing by 3. That's on the bottom. So we have 648 divided by 12 equals 54. My inches canceled out here, so I have 54 feet. And then (54 feet) divided by 3 feet. My feet cancel out. and yards are the only thing I have left. So I end with yards. So there are 18 yards in 648 inches.
Do you just divide 54?
Divide 54 divided by 3.